live.
I forgot about what a banger that intro track is, man.
So good.
The end is that John Tesh like ripping it out at the end? That's what it feels like, man.
That's actually it's Tesh and Trent Reznor collaborating on the piano pieces at the end.
I love it. Welcome to the Sunday Soak remote version. All right, we're not in the tub today. There's some chance of thunderstorms. We don't want to get struck by lightning. Also, Teresa's trying to make it to Riot Fest. I'm a little under the weather. We have a lot of stuff going on here, but we figured we'd still bring this to you. Yes, I am a pussy. I'm not going to the Sox game. I'm going to watch.
Probably not going.
I'm going to watch. See, I'm going to watch Justin Fields get his ass kicked. But still, we wanted to bring you the Sunday Soak, which is powered by More Than Dawgs. 34th and Shields, Northeast corner. They're also not there. Rained out. They're like, fuck this. We're not going to be out in the rain. Who can blame them? No one wants to stand in the rain to get a fucking hot dog, even though they have great sandwiches. MSS, what do they have currently, even though they're currently not there?
I mean, this is like the only thing you need to get there is their jalapeno cheddar brat. I was sitting with some of Chicago's finest right before the game, and they're like, jalapeno cheddar brat and fries? And the cops go, oh, man, we should have got that. Why did we get the Philly? And I was like, yeah, you should have, goofies. Get some fries, get some jalapeno cheddar brats with the onions on there. It's delicious. They have grilled onions, unlike the Chicago White Sox, who run out of grilled onions. But
How you run out of onions?
I mean, dude,
incredible.
You guys know that.
Did the Cubs corner the market on onions? Did Maxwell Street steal?
Jerry got squeezed out of the onion market.
More Than Dawgs bought so many onions that it emptied the coffers of the White Sox.
Clarence Beeks told him not to buy it. That's what it was. He said, don't buy the onions. It was too late. They couldn't get in there.
If there was any better of a commercial than my face last night when I paid $20 for a Diet Coke and a fucking brat without freaking goddamn onions on it. I was so disappointed because I paid all that money and didn't even get onions, and they were just like, yeah, well, no, we're just out. Like, no, that's unacceptable. She had to look around for a brat. She's like, I don't even know if we have a brat. And I was like, oh, I really, I don't want. She's like going through like a box with all of the unused, uneaten things, you know, like, and she's like picking over stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I want this. Like, I mean, it was only the
You were like, can you just give me my money back? I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I think I want my money back.
I should have just walked away, but I needed to eat something so I wasn't like dead this morning. And you know, I don't complain about things. I'm not a big complainer. I usually will.
Really? Whoa! Let's do complainer rankings here. Treasy and I tied for one. You last.
Usually, I fucking don't like complain about shit at the stadium because it's not really going to change and there's not really much we can do. But this is why I don't eat at the stadium. Like I don't eat there because of this shit. Like it's just ridiculous. So go to More Than Dawgs, but not today because they're not open. So.
Good segue. The Sunday Soak is an all-questions show, so we'll start out with our guy Wayne. And Wayne says, which of the White Sox players would you love to see reach their loftiest of hype production in 2024? He put in parentheses, not Luis Robert Jr., so exclude him there because obviously he's already kind of reaching some of that. Examples would be Vaughn because he has 3 years of ARB left, Moncada so they could trade him, Eloy because he has some remaining team control, etc. Treasy, who would you like to see and for what reason kind of reach their potential in 2024, which looks like it's going to be a lost season?
If it's going to be a lost season, you want it to be Vaughn, right? You want to go forward with Vaughn. But I think if we have any chance of competing in this season, it's got to be Moncada. Because Moncada has, if he were to reach like what we saw in the bouncy ball year, like if he could be that player with Luis Robert on the team, like that might even be enough to just get you through to the playoffs because this division's so terrible, right? Like so, and that's the kind of thing where it's like if we're competing, that's what I want. If we're not, seeing Andrew Vaughn actually put up good first baseman numbers would be a thing that I would be like, okay, now we're moving in the right direction.
Right.
How about you, MSS? Who do you think?
I'm going to go in a different direction, but I'm not really entirely sure this guy has a lot of potential. But Tuki Toussaint would be the guy that I would like to be good.
Yeah.
Give me a pitcher. We're going to need pitching. So, like, if one of these guys could, like, actually do what they think he could potentially do, I don't know who thinks that, but maybe somebody does. Like, he has some real good potential. There's a reason he's out there. We need these guys to click because we ain't going to buy it. We're not going to pay for it.
Right.
So we might as
That's
we're
correct.
going to get scrap heap and we're going to get prospects. So let's fucking hope that one of these guys turns out.
You know,
Tukey does. There is potential there.
Yeah,
He's past
sure is.
the age where you would think that he would normally get to that because he's 27.
Yeah.
But he was a first round pick. He was,
Yeah.
I think, he was like 16th overall pick. So like
Okay.
that's a guy with the
Yeah.
potential. That's
And
a good call.
pitchers do
MSS.
late bloom sometimes. Like when the hitters kind of usually get to a point where it's like you ain't going to see anymore. But pitchers are weird occasionally, and they'll late bloom and pop up. And they got a bunch of team control. So if Tukey worked, he'd be a mainstay in this rotation for 3-4 years. My mind was in a similar direction. Michael Kopech for me.
Yeah.
Michael Kopech bounces back and is a good starting pitcher in 2024. You got two reliable trade assets, him and Dylan Cease, that you could flip out, and then there you go. You push for that next group that starts in 2025. Like that's the type of thing where, because I don't think that the hitter side, none of those guys from a trade potential move the needle, and I don't know that any of them premium Eloy, if you got him to stay healthy and lift the ball, yeah, he's a difference maker. The rest of the guys will just be kind of fun to watch for a short period of time and won't be like, oh shit, we got something now, So I was more looking at like who could we trade, and if Kopech came out in his first 20 starts of next year, like he's in the Cy Young conversation. Yeah, you got two great trade assets as starting pitchers. You could flip both them guys, and then there's a real restart with the shit you grabbed last year. That's just my comment.
Good
And
call.
we'd be fine with it because we'd never believe it's going to continue to happen.
That's correct. And neither would rest of the Sox fans, so they'd be pleased to get him out of here. All right, next question is from Joey P. And Joey P says, Colson Montgomery, what excites you and what doesn't? Treasy?
So what excites me is the bat, and it looks like it's going to be like he's going to be a real hitter, right? Like so that's exciting to me. What doesn't excite me is that he might not be a shortstop, and him not being a shortstop really lessens the value of everything overall. I think I trust me, I'm still way in on Colson Montgomery. I think that he's going to be a good player, but if he's a third baseman, or if he's a left fielder, or if he's a second baseman, maybe not as valuable. Second base probably more valuable, but when he's not a shortstop, that worries me. Like if he can't stick at shortstop, that's a problem, and I'd be less excited about that.
How about you, MSS? What do you think?
100% they're going to move him to second base. That's where he'll be.
He's a
gonna
tall
end up
second
there.
baseman. He's 6'4". He's like your height, MSS. Like,
That's
DJ
that's fine.
LeMahieu style.
yeah, exactly.
Yep. Either that or he'll be in right field because they.
This
hate
is what I was
Oscar
thinking,
Colas.
too.
So those are the two places that he will play. He will definitely be out of position. He will get the Vaughn treatment. They will say, oh, he's a natural shortstop, so he cannot hit balls very well right now because he's out of position. We'll give him 4 years of him trying to figure it out. And then when we flip him to the Marlins for two guys we've never heard in a catcher's mask, he will suddenly become really good and just start smashing away. That's what I think is going to happen.
Well said, boys.
I'm not trying to be very detailed in my what's going to happen, but that's probably what's
That's the whole story. Appreciate it. Next question is from White Sox Sal.
Hey, Sal, from my basement on a Sunday with a fan blowing on me because it's a little hot in here. Go fuck yourself.
Sal says, is this the worst White Sox September baseball you have ever experienced? My Sox summer, you're first.
Well, I was thinking about this because last year seemed like more of a bigger disappointment just because they hadn't sucked. Well, they did suck the entire year. But like we were like a little bit more hopeful. Like there's never been hope this year. Like not even just like a little bit. Like that never once. And we were like, hey, you know what? These guys could probably turn this around. That has not happened this year. Not one fucking time. There's never been hope. So I'm not really all that disappointed because I just expected this to be this way. What now is because the team has like taken like you don't even care about the team anymore. So now we're starting to focus on other things like not having fucking onions at a baseball game. So that from a personal standpoint that sucks. But like, is it the most disappointing? No, I don't think so because they've never really had any hope.
Beef, can you repeat the question for me? I just want to make sure that it was word was disappointing. Was it?
It says, "What is this? The worst White Sox September baseball you've experienced?"
Oh. Okay.
So
yeah.
just September and experienced.
Okay,
so
just the baseball.
I'm not. I'm with MSS that I'm not disappointed, but this is the worst baseball I've seen, and the reason is that in a lot of these other seasons, we either traded away some of the guys, but not like the entire team really. Right now, you've just got Luis Robert. Right, I mean, like Moncada's been playing a little bit better, and Vaughn has been hitting a little bit. Like, but there's nothing to watch out there. No. It's just terrible baseball, and they do everything wrong, right? Like, so like it looks bad, and it is bad, and the fact that they gutted the bullpen so much, the other team is in every game.
Like, yes, even if we get way ahead, you're right. They always come back. It's true,
I wasn't there last night, but I'm talking to Cornsey this morning, and she's like, I didn't even want to watch the end of the game because I was so sure they were going to blow the game that she left. She went to the bathroom to not see the end of the game because they're like you could just assume that the bullpen's going to blow it. So like this is extremely bad baseball. This is I think the worst we've seen in September.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with Treasy. And the blow is softened though because at this point the 108 thing is built out so much that almost every game, especially the weekend games, we're running into people for one last time during the season. Yeah. So it's good to see someone. You're hugging and kissing and everything, and it's beautiful in the stands. But the on-field play is, you're right, Tracy. They don't walk. They're bad at base running. The defense fucking stinks. Like the other day, Tim Anderson boots one that's right to him, and then 2 plays later, he just lets a pop-up drop like right next to him. It's like just shit that shouldn't happen and is happening way more than it should. So like, it's brutal to watch. There have been other bad teams, but this team just feels worse because of the way it's been gutted and then the actual performance. So I would agree with you.
Yeah, it's usually the guys that you have at the end of the season are like the Lurie Garcia type guys where they know how to play the game and they are fundamentally sound. They're just not good.
They're bad,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so you have that, and you're like, we're down a run. We're never going to catch up. Right? Like that's kind of the feeling that you'd have. This team is like a bunch of guys that like are just don't even know what they're doing. Like they don't even like half of them aren't trying and the other half are trying really hard but are just incapable of knowing how to play the game.
Yeah, walking to the park last night, walking with Josh Nelson, he's like, let's just try not to lose by 8 tonight. And that is what they've done the 2 nights before. So it's like, let's try not to lose by 8. I mean, they did. They succeeded in that. Next question is from longtime guy Sockside Pride. Sockside Pride says, who was more set up for failure? Getz trying to fix the organizational stank left by Han, KW, and JR, and a pissed-off fan base as an internal hire as a first-time GM, or Chaim Bloom during his tenure with the Boston Red Sox where they didn't re-sign Mookie and they were shedding payroll. Who is more set up for failure here, Treasy?
I mean, I feel like it's Chaim Bloom because they basically put him in a situation and said, gut the team. And then when he finished gutting it, they're like, why aren't we good? Why is this bad? Like what the fuck did you expect? Like how did you expect this to go right? So like I think he was put in a pretty bad position. He could have done better.
Yep.
Right? Like I'm not saying like that it's all the organization's fault. Like you talk to Red Sox fans, they did not like what he was doing. So right. it's not like he was totally blameless in this. But I think that he was just given like a very short period of time. Getz is going to get 20, 30 years to turn this around. So like Bloom had to do it like very quickly and with getting rid of their best players.
Yeah. And he kind of did. He kind of succeeded in turning the thing around. The arrow seems to be pointed up, even though they're not going to make the playoffs this year, but still. MSS, what do you think?
I don't think that Getz is going to be held to a very high standard. Because I don't think a lot of them over there get held to a high standard sometimes, especially in the baseball operations world. So he's getting what he wants. And if you're going to already say, I like what he's doing in the minors with nothing to show for it, then you're already like expecting like he's not going to do anything. I mean, you're like, yeah, what he's done over there is great. What has he done? I don't know. Like I can't point to one fucking thing of why it's been good other than they're drafting better. Oh, okay, great. But that's not developing. That's not going to turn anything on the field yet. You know, your first shot's going to be Colson Montgomery, right? Like, come out there and try to play. So, I don't know. It's definitely the Red Sox guy that I don't give two shits about.
I was going to say, let me paint you guys a quick picture here. If, let's say, next year the White Sox end up with a team where they patch a bunch of holes. They grab random guys out there. They get dead cat bounces from some of these guys here who just have sucked this past year. And the White Sox finished the season 83-79, and they miss a playoff spot by like 2 games. But they're hot in October and into mid-September where they're right in a wild card race. You tell me that Chris Getz is going to be like the talk of the town. He'll get all kinds of chances, and it could be the luckiest ass bounce back you've ever fucking seen, and you know it's not going to last. But he's going to, he has a lot of upside here. He just doesn't have, as long as he's not as terrible as Han and KW, he's in like Flint, man. They'll start doing some stuff. So, I think he's got a lot of upside here, to be honest with you. I don't think he can exexecute on it in a realistic way, but I think the potential's there.
Yeah, I don't feel like he's set up for failure at all. I feel like he can only succeed, right? Because if he does fail, they're just going to go, nah, it's someone else's fault.
That's what they're doing already.
It's the chairman's fault. Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't my fault I didn't develop any talent. There was no talent to develop.
That's right. Absolutely right.
It's also my fault, but I'm just going to say it wasn't because I'm not in that job anymore.
Let me just pass the buck. That's what corporate America's all about.
I don't know who drafted these motherfuckers. It wasn't me.
All right, next up is Baloney. Baloney says, in honor of Beefloaf's $30 Rolling Rocks, $27, Baloney. What is something you immediately regretted after purchasing? And for the record, I didn't regret purchasing them. I liked them. I just wish I paid $19 instead of $27. So MSS, answer the question. What's something after you purchased it you immediately regretted purchasing?
Oh, I mean, anything new for my children. There's just no reason to buy them anything new because they're just going to break it or they're going to not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it, whatever. Like brand new shoes, why? They're going to grow out of them. There's no point. There's no point. So you might as well just get used ones and just hopefully that it's got a little bit of tread left on them and they don't fall down in gym class every day. So, yeah, anything for my children.
How about you, Chorizo?
I think every round of shots I've ever bought.
Yeah. Generally not a good
but no, it wasn't immediate. It was within the first 2 days. I remember I got a new phone. This was 10 years ago or something. I got a new phone and texting did not work on it.
Oh no!
And I took it to the place and they're like, this is just we can't fix this or whatever, and but you could buy a new phone. And I was like, I can't buy a fucking new phone. So I had to deal with this thing for a while with no text.
Oh my god!
A phone with no texting. I had to get separate apps to communicate with people. It was awful.
Jesus.
And that was one where I was like, why did I do this? Why did I buy this thing with this piece of shit? I thought I was getting a nice deal, and I can't text people.
Why didn't you just text me back? I'm taking a shit. No, I got a call. I don't have text. Sorry.
Call me up. Let's do it.
I'm going to write you a letter.
It's got a little.
It's going to suck. What about you, Loaf? What do you immediately regret buying?
I'll tell you what, and I've done it a couple times, is anytime I bought a video game system as an adult, because Bonita and I will play with it for a day or two, maybe a week total, and then we never touch it again. And then I just use it as a DVD player. I never end up playing any of the games or nothing. And it's funny because my daughter is a games player, but they play all on PC. The kids these days, they play more on PC and a lot of that stuff. So we bought 2 different sets, and then we'll play it for a little bit. And it was then we haven't touched it. I'm looking at it right now, and it's got the controllers neatly sitting on top of it. I'm like, the next time I touch those controllers are going to be so I can watch MLB Network down here because the app is inside of the that kind of thing. So totally useless. I can't wait to buy another one in a couple years. It's going to be great.
I see this comment. Brewhan Luke says, use shoes with question marks, bro. Kids grow out of shoes in 32 seconds.
They do.
It's a proven fact. It happens.
Yep.
So, you're thinking, somebody just wore these shoes in the ground? Absolutely not. That is not what I am purchasing my child. Usually these things are almost brand new when I get them for them. And if I do that, I disinfect them. I put them in the washer, deep fucking clean. I'm not putting shit on my kids' feet.
Luke, let me let you do some math, okay? I was wearing a size 15 shoe by the time I was 13. I'll let you math out how quickly you have to grow in shoes to get to that point at 13 years old. All right. Next question is from
Luke's brain exploded.
His brain exploded. He's like, a lot of speed there. But if you don't know, now you know, kind of thing.
Now you know.
You know what? Hold on a second. Beef is always trying to set up his OnlyFeet site. And He's like, hey, everybody, think about my big feet for a little bit.
I'm looking for new streams of income, Treasy. Wait, you can't, don't hate on me. This is for the group. You know, what the fuck? All right, the next question's from Josh Nelson. And Josh says, why aren't Beefloaf and Treasy driving around with big-ass Mexican flags this weekend? Treasy, go ahead. Why aren't we there?
I wear this hat at my big-ass head.
I was repping this weekend, too, with that hat.
Yeah,
Dude,
you wore it last night for Irish Day. You wore your Mexican hat.
Look,
Yeah.
I like it.
I like that I got our family members out there rolling with the flags. That's just too big of a pain in the ass for me, man. Yeah. I'm a bad enough driver already. I can't be wielding a flag at the same time. It's just not. It's just not in my blood. So I can't handle those things all at once. So I'm just supportive of everybody that does it.
We're kind of low-key representative of lots of stuff, right? Yeah. We don't really blare it, but we show it to you a little bit. And the reason why is because Treasy and I need to maintain some of the good one status. We don't want to lose that. We've had it for a lot of years, and we'll blow it out if we got the flags going or whatever. Yeah. You white folks would be like, oh, they're not one of the good ones anymore. You know, so I got to keep, stay on that side of it. So sorry, Josh, we're not doing it. Right?
I have the Puerto Rican flag flying on my car, so we're good.
BWC. Next question is from CD44, and CD44 says, is the alien they found real or cake? My sucks summer.
It's fucking paper mache. I mean, that thing is fake as fuck. That looks like somebody is like, hey, make me an alien. And they're like, what's it look like? And you're like, just think in your head what you think it looks like and just make it.
And it's like E.T. It looks exactly like E.T.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everyone has these. Like I remember when they was believing when I was more believing into aliens, which they got to exist. We just never see them because they're like million years away from us or million light years away. And like everyone's like has these conceptions in their head of what they look like because they saw one time and some guy drew it and then they just keep thinking it through. It's the exact same thing. It's finally made it to Mexico. I guess the internet's slow down there. I don't know because this is the same thing we've seen 100 times. And it does look like
MSS,
E.T.
You make a good point because this guy has trying to pawn these two things off as aliens before. So he's a known he's known for this and everything. So like I think a lot of people are this is not real. I agree it's probably not real, but I do believe that it probably is cake. I think that he's got so tired of trotting around the fake bodies from before. They're probably disgusting, like he's like, well, I could just bring a delicious cake. We'll eat it afterwards.
When there's no takers, you just cut into it and we'll have a party. That sounds totally reasonable. Excuse me.
Oh God, right. You are a little congested.
The next question is from Shane Spagnola, and Shane Spagnola says, "Who stole more, the rally rat stealing food at the ballpark, or my sock summer taking bobbleheads at the ballpark?" Dreezy, you're first.
Bitch, please.
I'm gonna say the rally rat because I think that MSS's game is overstated. I don't think that he has the tenacity of a rat like that. That rat, you see what that rat clawed through to get just to that little smidget of beef that was floating around in the section? Yep. That's a tenacious rat. MSS ain't got that in him. That's why he was never a varsity athlete. It's just
that's right. Yeah,
it's just not in him.
Yeah. I love cigarettes and electric guitars. That's why I was never a varsity athlete. I'm just gonna flip this question up and just say neither of us are stealing anything. It was left on the ground. We can pick it up and take it home.
There it is.
Fuck everybody. Okay. If you're dumb enough to leave your shit there, don't be mad at me for going and picking it up. It's your dumb fault. Bye. Okay.
Mic drop.
Bye.
That's good. That one's
rat
answered.
Rat. Rat gonna rat.
Asked, answered. Next question is from Husky Bardo. Husky Bardo, and he directs it towards me, but I think we should answer this as a group. He says, Beefloaf, who would be your 12 disciples at the Last Supper for White Sox Twitter? Now he's
is it apostles or disciples?
That's a good question. I think they're interchangeable.
I think it's interchangeable. Okay. I think it is. Yeah.
It's been a long time since Catholic school, but I think they're interchangeable there. So let's say it's the group of us. Who are the 12 that are going to be at the dinner with us? That's what we got to start. So Treasy, let's MSS. Let's spitball a little bit. Who we got there?
Well, it's supposed to be dudes, right? I think we gotta stick to dudes.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
dudes.
Yeah, let's stick to dudes here.
I think Matt Ramsey and Soxwood, I would want at this, though.
Yeah,
I'm worried about those two. One of them could be the Judas of the group. So,
Yeah,
well,
that's the thing. We'll let the audience decide who
Yeah.
they think Judas is out of this group. So there we go.
Okay,
We
so
got
we
two:
got
Matt Ramsey
and
and Soxwood. All right.
I'll write it down.
Okay, good idea. I mean, we got to kind of have. I think we got to have Mr. Hand and Wally Money also as part of the group, right? They got to be in here.
Yep.
So that's 4 of them. Okay.
You know, it'd be a fun one. Would be Mailman Jack, because he'd leave to take a shit in the middle.
Yeah.
Of in the middle of Last Supper.
Do we have enough food for Mailman Jack? This is
I don't
like
know.
a long time
No.
ago. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, we do, because Jesus can make his own food. So we
he
have enough drinks.
he
and
turns
enough
water
food.
into wine, so I'm not worried
Yeah.
about the booze. But the food is a little concerned. Is he making them loaves of bread or what? We're gonna be good. Okay.
I don't know. We need
All right.
we need a Judas character. That's Ken W.O.
Well, we're gonna let everyone decide who they think Judas
They're
is.
deciding the Judas. We don't have to pick one purposely.
He's Judas. We're just gonna have.
But I would-
Judas.
I don't think so. I don't think he would be.
No.
I would have
No.
Ken W.O. there for this.
I would as well. That's fine. I don't think he'll be the Judas. I think it'd be the Judas is someone who you kind of trust, who
Josh
has the
Nelson.
opportunity to backstab you. Ken W. can't do that.
Josh Nelson
Josh
will bring.
Nelson's the Judas.
Well, that's again. We're not deciding the Judas. Just
Yes.
keep naming people.
Yeah. It's hard to explain MSS, even for the 7th time, that we're just naming people.
Fucking God.
You know who it's gonna be? Jim Margulis. He'll be the Judas.
He's not there.
No, he's not. He's far away. He doesn't.
He
doesn't come.
accepted the invite but didn't show up.
Hello, friend.
Let's see, who else do we got?
What about
had-
King Nam? Does King Nam get into this mix or no?
Yeah, get King Nam in there.
You can
He's
throw
a
King
good
Nam
dinner
in there. That's
guest.
fine. Yeah, that works good.
He's not.
Let's-
He's beefy.
Let's pull back someone who like is not even on Twitter anymore. Let's think about who
We
we
have
can even.
8. We need 4 more. We need
Okay.
4
Like
more.
is Hayes at this dinner? Is the question.
That would be a funny one. Sox Barber. Show
Oh,
up at the dinner.
you know who's got to be in there is Slim Mick. Slim Mick's got to be at this. I mean, if we told Slim Mick, we're after this dinner, we're gonna kill Beef Loaf. He's not missing that for the world. He's gonna be at that dinner.
What about Wendell? We'll throw Wendell in there.
Ooh, I
Wendell
like
should
Wendell.
show up.
Yeah, he's in the ballpark regularly, so he's very close to us. How many we got left?
2 more.
How about someone like Dan Reyes?
Dan's
So
good.
it's a little, you don't know. He could be the guy, but you don't know. But we all like him.
Like
so,
possibly actually a disciple. Like, is that what you're going?
I don't know. I don't want to cast.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
we got one more.
one more. All right.
We're
Do we invite Vino?
Oh yeah, Vino.
Vino, he'd be. He's fun. Like,
Vino's great. Okay, we got
All right.
12. All right, comments. Tell us. We can actually see the comments today. So tell us who the Judas is out of that group. MSS, read them off. Read off the 12.
Soxwood, Matt Ramsey, Aloha Mr. Hand, Wally Money, Mailman Jack, Ken W.O., Josh Nelson, King Nam, Slim Mick, Wendell, Dan Reyes, and Vino. I'll make a little table of us.
Okay.
like the last grilled onion or something. Instead of the last dinner, it'll be the last grilled onion. I got a theme today, boys. I'm sticking up with it.
Great job, boys. All right, next question is from CMCD, and CD says, with Moncada and Berger both streaking hot to the finish, and they're both playing real well right now ending the season, do you think the White Sox traded the wrong third baseman, Treasy?
Well, I mean, I didn't like the trade, but I don't think there was a Moncada market. So I think that if they were looking to thin the position and say this is this guy's position, they traded the only asset they could. I just still think it's what's the word? Fucking stupid that they traded him.
You'd reach right there. MSS, what do you think?
I mean, getting rid of Jake Berger was a clearly another personality problem, right? Like, the guy's trying too hard and maybe wasn't buying in. So they're like, get this fucker out of here. He's a no good, try harder guy. I need to establish control, and I cannot mind fuck him like I can everybody else. So get him the fuck out of here. That's why Jake Berger's gone. So, yeah, clearly.
Yeah, I did I did Ozzie Guillen Jr.'s podcast, and he's like, I don't know why they got rid of Berger. They've been all trying to get these guys to buy in this iPitch thing, and Berger's like one of the only ones who was actually using it. It's like, don't you want the guy who was following your message to like stay? It's like fucking ridiculous shit. The mind of Ken Williams. All right, next question is from Chicago Brush Lion. And Chicago Brush Line says, where does the 108 Rat sit overall within the White Sox mascot power rankings? My Sox Summer power rankings, and where does the 108 Rat sit? This is a tough question.
This is MSS territory here. I'm really anxious to
like with all of the mascots that we've had previously. So we're talking Southpaw, we're talking Ribby and Rhubarb. We throwing Andy the Clown in there, that creepy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Put Andy the Clown, that
Andy
wolf
the Clown
thing.
in there.
What's that
Waldo
wolf
the Wolf. Yep. So all right, first off, Andy the Clown's the lowest level. Like that guy's creepy and just not acceptable. I'm surprised that lasted as I mean, there is a better cover up for that guy than the Catholic priest organization, because we still haven't heard anything about Andy. And if Andy's family's watching, I'm sure your creepy clown friend was fine. Okay, but I don't think so. So he's the bottom. Next up, Waldo the Wolf is there. Okay, he's second from the bottom. He sucked. I don't even think they actually had like he was just a drawing. Fuck that dude. Rally Rat is there, right there, like in the third position, basically. Like
third from the bottom.
Yeah, well, he'll be third from the top too, because there's only two more. Ribby and Rhubarb.
You do them together. You do them together.
Yeah.
You don't separate Ribby and Rhubarb.
Oh, see.
No,
okay, it's
they're right
interesting.
above.
All right.
Right above, because they're a tandem, man. They're like peanut butter and jelly. You could have just one or the other, but it
not
don't
as
make
good.
no sense. Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense.
Got it. Yep.
And number one, because we know him and he's friends, and he might even do the Sunday soak sometime. Southpaw, easy. He's lasted the longest.
Yeah.
He's the least creepy. He has pants on. His dick ain't hanging out trying to fuck him, kids or nothing. It's great. It's a good time. Southpaw, Ribby and Rhubarb, Rally Rat, Waldo, weird ass Andy the Clown.
No
Good
notes.
thoughts, Treasy.
No
No
notes.
notes. I understood the assignment. all right?
Perfection.
Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly.
That was perfect. All right, next question is from Ricky Shitter, and this is one of the guys, the 11th Ward guys, that's giving me a lot of
this
crap
guy.
about wanting to play softball. I told them all they got to do is tear down the embarrassing Tony Cheravino signs that have been up 6 months after you already lost.
Yeah.
Get that loser stench sign down, and then maybe we could play the softball game. But anyway,
What is with that? I mean, I feel like these guys are like getting prepping for like their January 6th moment with the Cheravino sign still up all over
storm the 11th Ward office.
Right.
Fuck, it's ridiculous.
You get hit by a car walking across the street there.
It's like throwing
Austin
a
ain't
house,
safe, motherfuckers.
it's like throwing a house party in college. Everyone's excited for the setup. They're like, hey, we can do this, we can do that. And then when it comes time to like tear everything down after, you got drunk and you're hungover, nobody wants to do it. So like everyone got real excited to climb over the overpass and put the fucking goddamn sign up there, and no one is really excited to go climb back up there and take it down, because they might die. You might die.
Those are staying there forever. So his question is, do you think an indoor sports rec complex should be built at Armour Park? And I'll go first. Yes, I would fucking love that. I would love it if there was an indoor sports rec complex built at Armour Park. They have the space. I mean, the area kind of between the tennis courts all the way north to the field house has plenty of wasted area that they could put a little complex there, basketball courts, volleyball, everything. So, I would love it. That'd be tremendous to have that right down here.
So isn't there stuff in the old field house? Like, isn't there like
There's a basketball court in there. There's also a pool, like an open air pool in there.
So so you rip that up, redo it. That would be fantastic. I think that'd be awesome.
So hey,
I wouldn't go there at all, but I would be happy for everybody that got to use it. I think it would be.
I
think I might go. I would go on my morning walks. If there was another guy, balls hanging down that was shooting baskets, I might go shoot baskets with him. You never know. So
hey, if they took Armour Park and they put an indoor sports complex in there, so you could play like the one they have over on 18th Street with the baseball field, would you like that at Armour? No.
No. What do you mean no?
Why don't you want that?
It's because I like it here.
You like it?
You like the other one?
is?
Okay, you don't want to go to this new one. The heck with
All
this
right,
new one.
hey.
Okay, I respect.
She already knows about the good one.
That's right. This one might be shoddy at Armour Park. Who knows? You
If
never
they
know
put
what's
an
going on there.
indoor park like they did on 18th Street. You know the ComEd building where they have like the big soccer fields.
Oh, you're losing
and
her.
the baseball fields, and then the basketball courts.
The one where I did my dance class?
No, where you went and played basketball.
Yeah.
If they put one of those over here at Armour Park, would you like that? You gotta speak in the microphone. Yes or no?
I don't know.
It's a yes or no
man,
answer.
I would think this is so silly. Like these girls, I don't know. What am I doing as a parent over here? They don't want the new
You know what? Your
nice
younger
stuff.
daughter was very decisive, so I respect her
Very
answer.
decisive.
Older daughter, not so much. You got to work on the decisiveness.
I know.
there. I'm sorry. You know?
What did he say?
He's
All
saying
right.
that you're not decisive enough.
The anger. All right, the next question is from Jerry O'Sullivan. And Jerry O'Sullivan says, more likely to get a region named after than the 108 tourney, the cesspool or the 108 rat. Treasy, go ahead.
I mean, I think the cesspool thing just kind of has to, that feels good for it. I think the 108 rat, I'm just going to say it. It's a 15 minutes of fame bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's as soon as the season's over, no one's gonna give a shit about the 108 rat anymore until next season when it's all rats all across the field.
There will be.
That's right.
But until
there will be
until
people
then,
there will be people that care about the rat. It's the ones that are still working in the park when they're getting overrun by them in the off season.
What do you think, MSS?
What was the question?
More likely to have a region in the 108 tourney, cesspool or the 108 rat?
Oh, cesspool, 100%. It was too good. Even though that guy's fought, like, even though he's dead, I don't know. You're not like a flavor of the moment kind of guy, Loaf. So I don't know if you'll either use either of them. But like, if there was one that was going to be more likely, it's probably cesspool.
Yeah, the answer is neither. And to be honest with you, I had forgotten about the cesspool until last night. I saw Peter Baloney wearing the cesspool T-shirt that they
cesspool
made,
shirt, yeah.
and I was like, I totally forgot about that shit. And he's like, Yeah, Han's gone, so people stopped caring about it. I was like, Yeah, it's kind of like the thought there. So I think they're both like flash in the pan. So if I had to pick one, I would probably say cesspool just because it's kind of funnier, and it could apply to like Twitter in general. So maybe you could get some usage out of it, but I'd say neither on that one. And then to close it out, the very last question is from Billy Wires. And Billy Wires asks, he says, do you think Jesus watches you masturbate? Treasy.
no. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure where to go with this one. Because I don't want to start another holy war on Twitter, but I don't believe in the guy, so I can't.
Oh, you don't believe in Jesus?
I don't think
Jesus existed, right? It was a
I don't
person.
know.
Allegedly.
I'm not really sure about that even.
Okay, all right,
I don't have a
fair
lot
enough.
of records of people that lived like thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Maybe there was a guy like him, but I bet he didn't do anything special. So like,
Jesus not too special.
He didn't do nothing
hey,
special.
You're telling me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Beef, if the Dons can't see from the Midwest to Vegas to see that all the stealing was going on, Jesus can't see from thousands of years ago to see me, cranking one out.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's your answer, MSS. Go ahead.
Who isn't watching me masturbate is the better question. Everyone. Check out my OnlyFans at MySockSummer, onlyfans.com. It's great stuff. Yeah.
I'd like to think that
What about
Jesus
you?
is watching when I'm cranking a real good one. But when I'm having one of my weaker ones, I hope he's not watching. I hope he only catches like the highlight reel of me jacking it. Not every single one of my events, because you have a lot of bad at-bats in there. And nothing you can do about it. You swung on a pitch outside the zone. It wasn't your best work.
So you
I
think
don't want him watching that.
He's scrolling through a ton of them, and then he's like, "What?
Oh, that's a good one right
Guy's
there.
really showing me something here."
Look how virile. Yeah, I'm going to stay here.
Jesus is definitely watching me jack off. Jesus, maybe not. We don't know.
Maybe not
Very,
so much.
I'm
I hope
very
they're too
glad
busy.
my friend Beef Loaf has been hydrating as well as he has. This is entertaining.
Back up to his standards. That's it. That's the Sunday soak for you.
That's it.
We are not going to be at the ballpark. Oh, MSS might be. He's claiming
I'm not
he's possibly going.
I don't think so.
Treasy's not going. I'm not going. I'm going to watch the Bears. So if you do go to the ballpark, enjoy yourself. Get out there to More Than Dogs. Not today because they ain't there.
They're
But
not
get
there
out to
today.
More Than Dogs and buy yourself some food. That's it. Take care, everyone. I'll catch you tomorrow on the Au
Take
Jus.
care,
We'll
brush
do the
your hair.
108 podcast on Thursday, and we love all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Is it still going?